Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Joe, Yamamu Aquaba at the mobile PENDREAM TV. So me pacho uba pep bombarding se uba subscribe to the channel no Eddie Amaye. Se utie na wo hwe video no so a utumi e kire wadwen e wo comment section na se no like e video no na wa sign so a share Eddie Amaye. Ye beda wa se pa. Na ene ye betwe enkomo bi ye bebo video bi Eddie a kire mo. Afri eye omanpenyini John Dramani Mahama na kache na omanpenyini John Dramani Mahama oni eye Ghana friends CEOs nyina Ghana CEOs friends network business for omako hyiam na oni omako hyiam no enkomo bi a ekoso na omanpenyini de nanu dinsam edit to omanim pa no me pese wan kasa wokọ ye kọ na wokọhwe na wokuti nsam omanpinini John Dramani Mahama oka amanyo no enye se kasa wo e obi a wonyansa wonim ade na wo ye no adwuma na ye de ahye wonsa no se sector bia wonim wo idea at least you should be able to have no less than 40 to 50% idea of every sector in the country, and no and a bit may make you a better president or a better leader. What do you say? As I call your man Peninia sector be a one tiasie, you do energy on tiasie, you do power on tiasie, you do health on tiasie, you do agric on tiasie. Just a times me perceive a corner could see said ye CEOs na like they were marveled as ye did you and a go Obra na omanpenyi John Dramani Mahama ene omokasa yenko na yenko hwe said omanpenyi John Dramani Mahama osi deliver ne nsam no esify na yensan emra.
But over the last few weeks, I'm sure there are many of you who've been asking yourself the question, what's this whole 24-hour economy all about? Well, I asked myself the question. I said, I want to see the concept. I want to see the policy document so we can look at it, discuss it, and maybe see what it means for Ghana. And it's become such a topical issue even as we aim towards issue-based campaign in 2024. Well, today we're privileged to have as our special guest of honor former President John Dramani Mahama as he speaks on John Mahama's 24-hour economic policy for Ghana, impact on Ghana's industrialization drive. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome His Excellency John Dramani Mahama with a round of applause.
Thank you very much. My good friend Ernest de Graftegiri, thank you very much for this opportunity. And thank you, captains of industries and business, chief executives, ladies and gentlemen. I am very pleased to have a second opportunity to join you at your annual end-of-year cocktail. This networking event provides an excellent opportunity to share new ideas, knowledge, wisdom, and experiences. And I mean experiences from Ghana that defy all the models and theories taught in business schools. Because if you have survived this economy since 2018, then you are a successful global case study. Like my first participation, I've enjoyed your warm friendship and insightful conversations and shared great ideas with many of you since I came here tonight. Of course, my determination to transform Ghana's economy into a 24-hour working economy featured prominently in the conversations I've had since I came here. But I cannot help but repeat the point made by one of the CEOs with deep regret written on his face that we want to pay every legitimate tax, but the needless harassment from the Ghana Revenue Authority must stop. Backdated tax audits, re-audits and assessments based on the whims of the taxman are killing our businesses, he said. Ladies and gentlemen, many businesses still bear the brunt of the economic meltdown. And this is because, contrary to the finance minister's assertion, we have not turned any corner. And 2024 will still be a very challenging year. Many have shut down their businesses, and hundreds of thousands of workers who were laid off are still at home. Businesses that moved their headquarters from Ghana to our neighboring countries have not returned. The poorly thought through banking sector cleanup has left thousands of skilled financial sector workers jobless and impoverished. And as I speak, the second tranche of the IMF's extended credit facility, which was due on 1st November, has still not been received because of a delay by external creditors to sign off on our debt restructuring program. Of course, the consequence of our debt default has also started manifesting. For the first time in 30 years, Ghana struggled to put together a cocoa syndication loan, which had almost become a routine activity on our financial calendar. Major infrastructural projects have ground to a halt because lenders have cut funding as a direct fallout from our debt default. Independent power producers continue to threaten power cuts due to mounting debts that affect their operations. One of the producers threatened a few days ago to take out 560 megawatts of power before a promise to pay was made. Ghanaians face grave uncertainty if more of these independent power producers follow suit. As a proud Ghanaian and a political leader, it is disheartening for me that government has severely damaged our country's reputation on the global stage. Recent data from available research shows the cost of living in Ghana is very high and people are struggling to make ends meet due to the economic downturn. This includes pensioners who invested their life savings in government bonds hoping to enjoy a better life in retirement. Business confidence remains low, with private sector credits declining in real terms. As of October 2023, credit to the private sector had decreased significantly by 31.6%. And this is because of the government's excessive borrowing over the last 7 years and its reliance on the short-term treasury market. Lending rates increased to over 32% in October 2023 due to the Bank of Ghana's tight monetary policy, high treasury bill rates, and rising non-performing loans. The immutable reality is that the first 3 quarters of the year 2023 have also been a tragic period for Ghana's industries, causing a setback for the country's economic transformation. While the mining and quarrying sector is still holding out, most subsectors such as construction, electricity, water supply, sewage, and waste management have experienced a decline. These are clear signs of an ailing economy, an economy whose industrial base is failing and businesses collapsing, with growing unemployment and its associated poverty and misery. Unemployment remains high, with the latest data indicating it at about 14%. Meanwhile, the 2024 budget and financial estimates of the government presented to Parliament have introduced yet again a raft of new taxes that will only add to the list of already burdensome taxes on households and businesses. These taxes, combined with very high interest rates, will further whittle away the capital of Ghanaian businesses and hinder their competitiveness. The economic crisis has ravaged all of us, but as business leaders, you have a deeper appreciation of the current situation. And when I paraphrase Bob Marley's song, he says, "Who feels it, knows it. You feel it and you know it." However, for the sake of Ghanaians and the future of our dear country, we cannot allow the status quo to continue. We know that this current economic situation is self-inflicted. as the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, have put forth several proposals to ensure that the economy is returned to a stable footing and that economic activity is expanded for job creation and growth. I've committed the future NDC government to stringent enforcement of prudence and fiscal discipline in public financial management. Government expenditure will be cut and streamlined by significantly reducing the number of overlapping agencies and amorphous creations of this NPP administration. As I noted at the last year's event, we cannot fail to learn from the current economic catastrophe. This crisis shows that there is no substitute for prudent financial management. Ladies and gentlemen, we are faced with a triple helix problem that threatens the stability of our democracy, namely a financial crisis, severe unemployment, and unprecedented levels of corruption. Without an economic revamp, we cannot hope to make any mark in our massive unemployment crisis, which is leading many of our young people down the road of frustration and despair. Research shows that unemployment, unavailability of jobs, poverty, high costs, and poor living conditions are issues of grave concerns to all Ghanaians. Chief executives, business owners, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot continue the business as usual way of doing things. We need to think outside the box. We must enhance efficiency by optimizing available resources, including infrastructure and human resources. Ghana must work more efficiently. The restless quest for efficiency to solve our financial and unemployment problems is why I have emphasized that more than the traditional and regular methods of economic activity would be needed to revitalize this economy. My next administration, inshallah, will pursue projects and programs to transform Ghana into a fully fledged 24-hour economy by optimizing available resources. I acknowledge the massive support for the idea of a 24-hour economy by the Trade Union Congress, civil society organizations, journalists, lecturers, labor consultants, CEOs, and captains of industry, personnel from the creative arts industry, drivers, traders, and the teeming unemployed youth of Ghana. God willing, from 7th January 2025, we shall implement a series of transition measures to address the economic decline and set Ghana on the path to recovery. The proposed 24-hour economy forms a part of NDC's vision to build the Ghana we want together. And let me reiterate that our quest to build the Ghana we want together with you will be premised on 1, building an industrialized, inclusive, and resilient economy that creates well-paying jobs, creating an equitable, healthy, and prosperous nation, developing well-planned, safe communities while protecting the natural environment, building efficient and dynamic institutions for national development, and strengthening Ghana's role in African and international affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, the 24-hour economy may have finally resonated with Ghanaians. It may be classified as an idea whose time has come due to Ghana's self-inflicted economic crisis today, because the 24-hour economy initiative has been well thought through and was captured on page 105 of the NDC's 2020 People's Manifesto. Indeed, its roots emanate from the 40-year National Development Plan that was developed by the National Development Planning Commission, which was put together when I was president of this country. Unfortunately, the present government discarded the 40-year development plan and replaced it with a Ghana Beyond Aid plan that has rather turned Ghana into a beggar nation. Stripped to the essentials, ladies and gentlemen, the 24-hour policy will be anchored as an economy that runs around the clock with a 3-shift work schedule in many sectors. The intent is to transform Ghana into first a self-sufficient and then an export-led economy. To be clear, we are not creating a command economy with centralized planning. That would be at variance with our social democratic principles as a party. Specifically, One, we will combine government support and private sector involvement to realize the 24-hour economy. We'll establish a comprehensive policy framework that supports the growth of a 24-hour economy. Legislation will be introduced to support businesses operating 24/7, including looking at the labor laws, tax incentives, and regulations that ensure workers' rights are protected. Favorable tax policies will be adopted so that businesses can reduce their operational costs and stay competitive. Companies that sign up for the 24-hour economy will enjoy smart metering calibrated to charge a lesser tariff per kilowatt hour for power that is consumed during off-peak hours at night time based on a time of use tariff system. Financing support will be provided for certain strategic agro-processing industries and manufacturing companies to boost production for value addition, self-sufficiency, and increased exports. Knowing that government is the biggest spender in the economy, we shall boost demand by ensuring that all government ministries, agencies, district assemblies, and state-owned enterprises buy made-in-Ghana goods and procure the services of Ghana-based firms where available. For instance, we should be buying electric cables produced in Ghana, transformers produced in Ghana, vegetable cooking oil produced in Ghana, soaps and detergents produced in Ghana. And I think that government being the biggest spender in the economy, if it makes a deliberate policy to procure goods produced in Ghana, we should create the kind of demand that will make our industries run 24/7 to meet that demand. We will address safety and security measures to ensure smooth operations across all sectors during these extended hours. We will see to the availability of the necessary infrastructure such as transport networks, public amenities and security systems, including a well-regulated and monitored private security architecture to facilitate round-the-clock activities. Technology and digital infrastructure investments would also be prioritized to enable automation and seamless operations. We cannot have a successful 24-hour economy without an aggressive expansion in our exports. I will therefore personally chair an accelerated Export Development Council, which will meet quarterly to review initiatives for expanding Ghana's exports under the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme and the African, Let me take that again. I said I'll personally chair an accelerated Exports Development Council, which will meet quarterly to review initiatives for expanding Ghana's exports under the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme and the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. There will be extensive consultation and collaboration with various stakeholders, including CEOs like you, businesses, and our workers' unions. Businesses will be encouraged to empower the workforce with the necessary skills and training to thrive in a 24-hour economy, focusing on the most impacted sectors. Sanitation, cleaning services, garbage collection, and environmental protection will also form a significant part of the 24-hour economy. Financial services at the ports, shipping agencies, and customs will be enabled to work additional shifts at night and weekends to allow for 24/7 clearing of goods from our ports. This will help reduce demurrage charges on importers and reduce congestion at our ports. My brothers and sisters, there will be no limit to the sectors the 24-hour economy initiative will target, and the benefits, I can assure you, will be enormous. As a young child, I worked through a 3-hour shift when my father was a business person in the north. He was the largest commercial rice farmer and owned a rice processing plant. And I used to do day shifts and do night shifts. We can do it again. Through the 24-hour economy, we will create new, decent, and well-paying jobs for our youth, reduce unemployment, which is a significant challenge, and improve the living standards of Ghanaians. Also, the expanded range of operating or working hours will increase productivity and fully utilize all resources, including infrastructure. The 24-hour economy will provide greater flexibility and convenience for workers and allow citizens to access goods and services at any time of the day. We will improve infrastructure, lighting and security at all entertainment districts, such as Osu Oxford Street, Abekala Pass, East Legon, Lagos Avenue, etc., to allow operations throughout the night. Consider hospitality, transportation and security, including a well-regulated and monitored private security establishment. These will enhance the consumer experience and create a thriving and dynamic economy. And let me add that the 24-hour economy will also attract foreign direct investment to stimulate the local economy and create more employment opportunities for Ghanaians. We would wage a strong fight against corruption to reduce waste and save money for investments in the economy. And the sword of the fight against corruption will cut both ways, against past government officials of the incumbent administration, against civil and public servants, businesses, and government suppliers if they fall foul of the law. We will review our laws governing the extractive industry so that Ghana can increase its share and increase local participation in the exploitation of our natural resources. I believe that with the improved revenue from savings made from the reduced size of government, the anti-corruption fight, fast-tracked operationalization of new oil and gas wells, licensed investments in the mining sector, and a revamped cocoa sector, we can ease the heavy burden of tax that has been placed on Ghanaian households and businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, we in the NDC have never claimed to be the repositories of all knowledge, and so we look forward to the mutual sharing of ideas and insights with you as I have done here tonight. We need to network more, and I look forward to another opportunity where I can sit and interact, take your questions, and share more thoughts and imbibe your suggestions to tackle our collective problems. When entrusted with the governance of this country and management of the economy, I pledge to you on behalf of the party I lead to stay the course of prudence to maintain stability and predictability in the economy. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, today is December 7th, and a year today would have begun counting and tallying the results of the presidential and parliamentary elections. By this time, Ghana will be getting ready for the results of a decisive election to make the change that we deserve. We're certain that the survival of businesses like yours depends on a stable macroeconomic environment. It will also depend on the need for change that will happen next year. I remain optimistic about the Mahama 24-hour economic initiative. In a rapidly advancing global economy in which countries worldwide are gradually drifting and adopting 24-hour economies to remain competitive and attract investments, Ghana cannot be left out. With increasing urbanization, where many previously rural communities are becoming urbanized with its associated higher demand for goods and services, including food, beverages, around the clock, Ghana cannot be left out. With an expanding services sector in which healthcare, tourism, entertainment, business process outsourcing, and call centers have the potential to operate optimally and continuously, Ghana cannot be left out. With technological advancements enabling communication, coordination, and transactions at any time, making it easier for businesses to operate 24 hours, 7 days a week, Ghana cannot be left out. And finally, my dear CEOs, let me assure you that we shall pursue initiatives that allow the private sector to flourish consistently and visibly, and in a way that improves upward socio-economic mobility and social justice. Our commitment is to stop the excessive and direct competition between government, its agencies and cronies with private businesses through dubious restrictions, mechanisms, and aggressive business regulations. The 24-hour economy initiative is indeed a game changer for the Ghanaian economy. It will benefit your businesses. It will benefit employment. It will help our youth who are seeking jobs. It will take away the frustration and despair they feel. We shall vigorously pursue the 24-hour economy amongst many other initiatives as part of our broader vision and determination to increase economic growth, create jobs, and improve the quality of life of Ghanaians. And we shall work with you to build the Ghana we want together. I thank you all, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas in advance. Thank you.
We can definitely do better. Let's give another round of applause. Thank you very, very much, Your Excellency. So for all of you who are thinking, who are asking questions about the 24-hour economy, I'm sure you have an idea what that would be and its impact on Ghana's industrialization drive.
Enti sa wutie ensem ya Omanpanyi John Dramani Mahama eka ye ya ene nkoma okudi ya ekira wo se nipa no onimde na adwene mu do wote ase Omanpanyi bi sei ene ye de oman ehye ne nsa enya ne atwera ma na obuku na nye obeka afri buku no asa wei saka ebre wo ho ne omode Omanpanyi tena se utie ne nsem no kan last minute wo say onya ya kadakro ye ma no kwan na nka ometena se na oni nyina na nka ubisa na asam no wayiwa no ubisa na asam no wayiwa no wahu adwene no ate adwene na se ate ase enya sam sorry anu matamoman na mo de akwhye obi nsa munnim die woni tirim enu ase nipa nim kasa nipa no otimi twitwa yampia ne ade oman ahye nsa. Look at Baumia sector being apart from economy, finances. Dr. Baumia bit makasa obetimi ama the theory side of it, theory side. And no krampuno enya practical so theory side of it. Obetimi be gina simpies no akasa and if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you then there no wake kan tra no call the administration and so ntimi. Omanpanyi abedi akire Mahmoud Baumia. Atese waka agriculture da. What is our car health asamda? What is our car power and energy asamda? What is our Omanpanyi abedi achire wi? Waka education. Only who idea biya. Who the need jina hosisi ana ubisa say, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, what can we do to change the narrative in our education service? Onim ni obetumi ak. Oh hu hwenka. Ubisa something about health. Oh hu hwenka. He say he was not born to become a president. When you win, you was here the omission and say be a president. No. Amanyo was here nyanipa na adwene mu do ade na wo ye no otiase onim ne oye. Otiase. Yes, were you as a minister ewo sector bi ewo ministry bi say koda no sanse bia wona wokura sa nimde na ofi se o kwhye ho bit my but eno nkire se oye dam ewo ba bia ode wakwhye no onim otiase onim ne eko enti so ofra se fa report bra be kire ne eko so wo ministry ha untimi medi ntro nkire no oba untimi medi ntro because ade na wo kan onim and as ministry no ode hye wonsa no onim a project onima bia or person ministry need enti wo na wa fra ode hye wonsa no so wo ba na to papa so he will know, he will sack you. Omanpanyi bi say ne yehia and yet those who come and be shouting their voice out on campaign platforms massa. We need knowledgeable people, intelligent people, visionary people like John Dramani Mahama to take on this country now. Minor to me at to empong. Aha a PENDREAM TV message so subscribe to this channel. The part of video I will share you know so also wadwen kire bia utumi e comment section na say e ko tro wadwen e wo honum. Sa so e na be like video no na wa share video no so e di amaye. Ye be srew say said the bia ye kano ya magana ni bia kwenya ba bia wo bia sa wa amano ne ana Ghana amanyo sama ye koso Ghana wo so awasa wo do anu tumu bi for wo so wa adwen bra eninti na PENDREAM TV for say audio voice voice audio now with their WhatsApp so e dia amaye can wa adwen any topical issue e koso o man Ghana can wa adwen fa send here 0277 128777 0277128777 and on that screen so what they send here you be publishing you be born with PENDREAM FM so I'm a Ghana for you we are seeing that they say a friend saying we should be a citizen but not a spectator aha enti ye nyina amanyosam ye nyina na wose ye managina to the bar you be publishing our PENDREAM FM so ama we are seeing na Ghana ate PENDREAM TV you say edamu yopo
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.
My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o say dem yopo.